This is not a real tank. It can't be. Smallest military vehicles in the world by Beyond Military. It's a small channel. They have 14,000 subscribers. Go give them a subscribe, give them a like. I want to learn about the smallest military vehicles.
It might look like an ATV, but it's definitely not an ATV. This is a light, tactical wheeled vehicle that's the only one in its class. The
Look at
sole
that
purpose of the
drift.
invention of the Prowler was to serve the military. They analyzed and assessed countless military operations and then built the Prowler based on data. As for those who say these things are just like an ordinary ATV, we should point out that the Prowlers are more reliable, stable, faster, and more rugged.
Oh my God.
On top of all this, they can carry greater payloads than any ATV currently on the market. It's fully automatic, and a V-twin liquid-cooled engine powers the four-wheel drive. Inside, they have sealed tubular steel construction and chrome alloy.
Do we have
They
something like
high
this in
clearance,
GTA
which
5?
makes them perfect for off-road missions. Their tight turning radius makes them easily maneuverable. Top that off with a payload
nice.
capacity of 1,600 pounds, 725 kilograms, and you have a real Prowler. Oh, but that's
Wow.
not the best part. The best part is the fact that these things have a 3,000-pound, 1,350 kilogram towing capacity. And finally, with a speed of 75 miles per hour, 120 kilometers per hour, these things can reach their 300-mile, 480-kilometer range in just 4 hours.
Man, this is like they don't look like they look like mini Humvees. I mean, take a look at the rear of this thing. That's not lightweight at all. And by the way, you know how you can tell it's a military vehicle? The seats are the most uncomfortable things. They just look like thin cloth.
It might not be the fastest military vehicle on this list, but
Wait, John Deere has a military vehicle? I did not realize John Deere makes a military vehicle. Give me a little tractor in the comments if you have it.
does pull its own weight. These M-Gators are manufactured by Deere & Company, and they were built specifically to transport cargo or evacuate people from some critical combat scenarios. Speaking of payload, they can carry 1,650 pounds, 750 kilograms.
Holy crap. Okay, that's a Humvee it's pulling. That's a Humvee it's pulling. That's fully armored. That's a fully armored Humvee that's pulling. You can tell it's a fully armored Humvee by looking at the gigantic side windows. Oh my God. Those things are not light.
Carry 1,650 pounds.
I mean, it's probably
750
pulling it
kilograms,
in
Thanks
neutral.
to the powerful Yanmar 4-cycle diesel engine with a displacement of 854 cc.
There's no way
However,
that's
as
a
we've
military
said,
vehicle.
it does have its flaws.
Oh, there you go. They're using
The
them right
M-Gator
there.
can't travel at speeds over 20 miles per hour, 32 kilometers per hour. Despite this, they're still being used by the U.S. Marine Corps, the Canadian Forces, and the Belgian Land Forces. It's only 9 feet, 2.74 meters long, and 5 feet, 1.5 meters wide.
Man, those 6
To make
tires, the
things
extra
easier
2
for the
tires
Navy,
make it
the
so easy, much
manufacturer
easier
has
to
made
go over the
two
swamp shit.
versions of the M-Gator. The M-Gator A1 is suitable
Look
for
at that
deploying
thing.
in missions all over the world. The M-Gator A2 is suitable for hauling and towing. DPV stands for Desert Patrol Vehicle.
Oh my God, this is a sandrail. This is not a desert patrol vehicle. It's a freaking sandrail. This is special operations stuff right here, guys.
They were developed by the U.S. during the Gulf War. In fact, these DPVs were used extensively in
Oh my
Operation
God.
Desert Storm, and the first forces to enter Kuwait City were the SEALs in these DPVs.
Did
The
I
company
just say
behind them
that?
was
Did
Chenoweth
I just say
Racing
that?
Products Incorporated, but Volkswagen, a manufacturer from Germany, was the first one to come up with a light utility vehicle, which was based on the VW Beetle.
That looks
Because of
awesome.
their small size, their mobility, and all of that armament, these DPVs are
I want one.
smashing that like button. Just like you should if you haven't done so already.
I want one
But
of
no, in
those.
all seriousness, these DPVs are still in service to this day. They use a 2-liter air-cooled engine which produces 200 horsepower.
Look at the grenade canisters next to it. You could have, look at this grenade canisters. You can have small grenades, anti-personnel grenades.
in service to this day. They use a 2-liter air-cooled engine which produces 200 horsepower. This allows them to reach a max speed of 60 miles per hour, 100 kilometers per hour. They also have a payload capacity of around 1,500 pounds, 680 kilograms. On a tank full of gas, these
Aren't you
DPVs
funny,
can go for 200
Akimov?
miles without needing to be refueled. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, this is the smallest tank ever produced in
It's a little
the
tiny
world.
baby tank. Aww. This is not a real tank. It can't be. This is not a government contracted vehicle. I don't want to believe this is a government contracted vehicle. This looks like it was developed by someone in their garage.
It's made by Howe and Howe Technologies, which specializes in making armored vehicles for the military.
Well,
Currently,
there you
the
go.
Badger is not used by militaries as it's a new technology, but SWAT teams love to bust through walls with this thing. In fact, that's precisely what the Badger was made to do. You're never going to know what it's like to be visited by the Badger until it comes crashing through your wall,
Oh my
says
God.
Michael Howe, one of the two brothers that founded the company. It's a one-man, all-terrain vehicle, and it can breach wooden walls, cinder block barriers, and much more.
Oh my
As for
God.
the size, it's only 32 inches wide, which means it's perfect for going through a door. As you can see, the front of the armored steel is angled. This is tactically done because the more angled the front of the Badger is compared to the person shooting at it, the more likely it'll deflect bullets. Armor-piercing rounds
Okay, can you imagine you see that thing coming through the door? Oh my God. You're gonna be like, I wish I had an RPG.
AK-47s, nothing will get through this bad boy. A handgun won't even scratch the paint.
Wow.
Well, that's all good until it goes over a landmine, right? Nope. The Badger's been tested against explosives, and it withstood a blast that shot it 8 feet, 2.5 meters, into the air.
Are you kidding me?
On the inside, there were about 25 G.
Okay, if you get shot 8 feet into the air, I don't care if you're in a bulletproof, armored proof, grenade proof, explosive proof vehicle, you're not gonna survive the landing.
So the driver survived the crash.
Wait,
Produced
what?
From 1956.
Oh my God.
Nope. The Badger's been tested against explosives, and it withstood a blast that shot it 8 feet, 2.5 meters, into the air. On the inside, there were about 25 Gs. So the driver survived the crash. Produced from
I feel like that was written just first for me, and second of all, survived is a relative term. It could be him, yeah, there's just a neck left.
1956 to 1970, these four-wheel drive vehicles were used widely by the military. The official name was M274 Truck Platform Utility Half-Ton. This means that the truck
Just
itself
put a
weighed
snake in a
1,100
hole.
pounds, 500 kilograms. However, the company that produced them had built 6 different versions for the various military missions.
You know what this looks like to me? This looks like to me like the early cars, from the 1890s or the 1910s, when they had no kind of an idea of what shape it has to be, so it was just completely flat on top and you had a steering wheel.
Their models range from this plain-looking mule with just one seat to an intimidating M27
It looks like this car never got finished building.
with a recoilless rifle.
Getting built.
Most of these mules used a 2-cylinder, 4-cycle Continental Hercules air-cooled engine,
Continental
and 5 of
Hercules.
these models had 4-wheel drive. The platform was
Holy
made from
crap.
magnesium alloy.
It's
which
got
made it durable.
rear wheel steering.
Is it a car? Is it a tank? Well, this one's both. It has the durability and look of a tank, but it's usually the same size as a car. Their role was simple: provide light infantry support and sometimes even partake in some scouting missions. These small tanks were used during the Second World War, and they were very popular between 1920 and 1940. Take, for example, the Ford 3-ton, which had a total length of only 14 feet, 4.3 meters, and a width and height of 6 feet, 1.8 meters. It was operated by a crew of 2 people. One of them was the driver and the other the gunner. Speaking of guns, it had a 30 caliber Browning M1917 Marlin machine gun. Its maximum speed was a measly 8 miles per hour, 12.8 kilometers per hour, and it had a range of only 34 miles, 55 kilometers. In France, Renault was building these tankettes. However, the most popular tankettes that most resembled the regular-sized tanks of the time and were the most popular were the Weasel 1 and Weasel 2.
This thing looks
A company
ridiculous.
from the UK called Enhanced Protection Systems has smashed that subscribe button and ring the notification bell.
That's the
But no, in
second
all
time they did
seriousness,
that.
They built the Springer ATV specifically for the needs of the UK Army. It might look like a simple ATV for 2 people, but the Springer ATV has a cargo bed which can carry loads up to 1 ton. They also have an 8,000-pound, 3,600-kilogram self-recovery winch coupled with sand ladders.
Thanks,
But you want
Rodriguez.
to know what surprised us the most? We thought that this simple-looking ATV was harmless. However, it turns out there are SA-80A2 standard assault rifles available for the 2 members.
Are
and
you
of
kidding
course,
me?
thanks to the ground clearance of almost 15 inches, 378 millimeters, this ATV is perfect for all off-road missions. It's the first of
Looks
the
really fun.
smallest military vehicles on this list built in South Africa. The company behind it is LMT Products, and they have an 8x8 configuration and are capable of carrying 4 soldiers. The weight of the Gecko ATV
I want to try
is
them all, Circa,
2,700
too, as well.
pounds, 1,225 kilograms. The payload capacity stands at roughly 2/3 of the overall weight, or
I like those
2,000 pounds,
big tires.
900
Thanks,
kilograms.
Ray guy. Right
It's
guy.
only 10 feet, 3.1 meters long,
Thanks for subscribing,
and has
brother.
a width of 5 feet 6 inches, 1.65 meters. The power comes from the Daihatsu DM950T diesel engine, which produces 35 horsepower and a maximum road speed of 28 miles per hour, 45
That's awesome.
kilometers per hour. The total range of this South African Gecko ATV is 155 miles, 250
Dude, with
kilometers.
those bouncy
It's an
little.
all-terrain mobility platform that became
6 tires, you'll
popular
go
for the
anywhere.
manufacturers by the name of Supercat. The British Army has used these 6-wheeled vehicles since 1988.
It's got floaters.
They
It
weigh
can go
exactly
swimming.
2 tons and have a length of 12 feet, 3.44 meters. The width from wheel to wheel is around 6 feet, or 2.03 meters. In the back, it has a cargo bed, and in the front, 2 crew members can sit and drive the Supercat. It might not have any armor to protect the drivers, but it does have low-pressure tires and a 7.62 millimeter general-purpose machine gun. The top speed of the Supercat stands at 40 miles per hour, or
Hold on. He said it doesn't have any armor, but it's got low pressure tires. How are the two relevant?
it does have low pressure. 2 crew members can sit and drive the Supercat. It might not have any armor to protect the drivers, but it does have low pressure tires and a
thank God.
7.62 millimeter general purpose machine gun. The top speed of the Supercat stands at 40 miles per hour, or 64 kilometers per hour.
Honestly,
Remote
that's
control
pretty
tanks are
bouncy at full
finally
speed
here.
in certain
A
places.
company called Kalishnikov Concern has been working on building a small
Kalishnikov?
tank-like crewless vehicle
Isn't
that's
that a
equipped
Russian
with a
assault
machine
rifle?
gun and anti-tank missiles. These can be modified to a 30-millimeter gun or laser-guided anti-tank missiles. But that's not all CEO Alexei Krivorechko has been planning to make. He wants to supersize this very same model and build one that's about 20 tons.
Wow.
Unmanned and equipped with more powerful armament. It'd be 3 times the size of the current Soratnik, and it'd be roughly the same size as the M1126 Striker ICV.
Imagine that's
Bye for
coming
now.
through your wooden door. Those were awesome, guys. Those were awesome. We learned a lot from that. I do want to try them all. I think my favorite one was the let me show you. My favorite one was this. First of all, this thing is hilarious. This thing doesn't seem like a real thing. I will think I was in a dream if I was in my living room and that came through the wall. But my favorite one of all time is the Special Operations DPV.
Patrol vehicle. They were
This one's my
developed by the
favorite.
US during the Gulf
It
War.
just looks like a full-on
In fact-
OP sand rail. You can go flying through the dunes. I love them. I want to try this thing so